I'm Bruce Miller Earl, and I was one of those infamous nobodies until Claude Hall recognized me as a young man and took note that as an engineer, I wanted to make the box speak and make it speak the best that I could. I'm not really a well-read man. Still to this day, if you come to my house, on my coffee table, you'll find better homes and transmitters. But Claude was the man that said, I got it. The better the radio station sounds, the more people will listen to it. In 1969, one of my mentors was a gentleman named Arthur Holt. And Arthur was a good old boy from Coombs, Texas, and was in the same generation as Claude Hall at the University of Texas in Austin. Both Art and Claude, for that day, had an affinity and a love for the Mexicans, which was not in vogue by most people and rednecks of that time and day. And Holt being H and Claude being Hall, he says not only was Claude taller than I was, but being HA and me being HO, he always got to sit first in the class assignment. But they budded up and became very, very, very good friends. I've never met Raul Cardenas, who I understand was a classmate of Claude's at the University of Texas. But again, this is after World War II. This is the 40s. For a tall, red-headed gringo from Brady, Texas, to be cavorting about with a Mexican just wasn't cool. But for Claude, it was extremely cool. And he loved the Mexicans. Claude came one time when I was the technical responsable at XEROK, the 150 kilowatt clear channel in Juarez. And Claude came, and he was only supposed to be there for one day. And he said, you know, I may have to extend this trip. I really want to take all of this in. So we did have an adult beverage or two and ate some wonderful steak. And at night, I took him out to the transmitter site, and we had been very superstitious to keep people safe. Well, Earl, nobody ever stole your ground system. Why is that? And I said, well, we had a skull and crossbones on all four corners of the tower fence, and we had burned out fluorescent tubes making the X across the crossbones. And with the 150,000 watt signal, they glowed and danced with the modulation. And the Mexicans would go, well, I don't think I want to be messing around over here. Never lost a radio due to that setup. So Claude, this is back, I think, when the Star Wars stuff was hot. We got a couple of bulbs, and we danced around. We did a sword dance with the lights. And at that same evening, there was a gentleman there, Maestro Castro, who'd been at the station for years, and his son's 15-year-old daughter was having her quinceanera. This is like the coming out party, coming of age party for young Mexican girls. And Claude, as the children had, that red complexion and red hair, the Mexicans refer to that as the camarón. You kind of look like a shrimp. You have that shrimpish color, and with the red hair, I'm sure they called you this one, colorada, red in Spanish. So after a few drinks, we started talking, and Maestro Castro said, oh yeah, I'd like you to bring your amigo. And Claude says, where are we going? And I said, well, we're going to go to his quinceanera. And one of the other guys who was there, that was a gringo from the office, Claude, you don't want to go hang out with a bunch of Mexicans. And Claude said, ¿Cómo no? He invited me, por lo seguro, I'm going, vámonos. By the end of the evening, Claude was dancing. He was the life of the party. And at the end of the evening, about 2 o'clock, Maestro Castro got me off in the corner. I'll tell you first and finish, because, oye, cabrón, este amigo tuyo, por lo seguro, en otra vida, fue mexicano. He says, oh yeah, for sure, this guy in another life was a Mexican. And I'm probably one of the most Mexicanized Anglos that you'll ever meet. That's another story. But for a Mexican to tell a gringo that in another life he was a Mexican, there's no higher honor. I love Claude Hall. I'll miss Claude Hall. He was instrumental in helping me in my career. And God bless the Hall of Fame. Say this constant paz, mi amigo.